Today is day 24 of Advent of Cyber 2025. This challenge is called Exploitation with cURL, Operation Exploit. According to Blue Team Intel, the wormhole is held open by a control panel on the Evil Bunny's web server. The team must shut it down first to cut off reinforcements before facing King Malware. However, the terminal they have is bare. No burp sweep, no browser, just a command prompt. But that's fine. The team will use the command line and cURL to speak HTTP directly, send requests, read responses, and find the endpoints that shut the portal. The learning objectives are to understand what HTTP requests and responses are at a high level, use cURL to make basic requests using GET and view responses in the terminal, send post requests with cURL to submit data to endpoints, and work with cookies and sessions in cURL to maintain login state across requests. So for this challenge, we need both the virtual machine and the attack box. HTTP requests using cURL. Applications like our browsers communicate with servers using HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Think of HTTP as the language for asking a server for resources such as pages, images, JSON data, and getting answers back. So if you want to access a website, the browser sends an HTTP request to the web server. If the request is valid, the server replies with an HTTP response that contains data needed to display the website. In the absence of a browser, and still speak HTTP directly from the command line. The simplest way is with cURL. cURL is a command line tool for crafting HTTP requests and viewing raw responses. It's ideal when you need precision or when GUI tools aren't available. Trying out cURL. So once the attack box is ready, open a command prompt and run the command below. Okay, so my attack box is now up. So we will open up a terminal and we will type in cURL http:// then the IP address of our virtual machine. So for me it's 10.48.166.237. Add a slash at the end and see what we get. Welcome to the cURL practice server. Try sending a post request to /post.php. So sending post requests, found a login form whose post target is /post.php. When you log in through a browser, it sends a post request to the server containing the credentials you entered. You can simulate this directly from the terminal. So we do cURL -X post /d, and we're passing it username equals user and password equals user, and then we enter in the URL for the virtual machine and make sure to end with post.php, and we got a response back of invalid credentials. So if the application expects additional fields like a login button or a CSRF token, they can be included too. So if we press up to bring up the previous command and we go to our /d username password string, and then it also includes submit is equal to login. See what that does. Still invalid credentials. But what we can also do is to view exactly what the server returns, add the -i into the command, and then we will see all the HTTP information. So for example, we can see that the server that we tried connecting to was Apache version 2.4.25. So if the site responds with a set cookie header, that's a good sign. It means you've successfully logged in or at least triggered a session. So once you log in, web applications use cookies to keep your session alive. When you make another request with your browser, the cookie gets sent automatically, but the cURL, you need to handle it yourself. So we need to log in and save the cookie. We'll do cURL -c cookies.txt, and we're going to be setting the username to admin and password as admin, and we are sending that to /session.php, http:// then the virtual machine IP address and session.php. Okay, well I still got invalid credentials, so is there something wrong? It appears to be correct, but let's take a look inside the cookies file to see if there's anything in there. We don't seem to have sessions set up, so I might instead directly copy and paste in case I did command wrong. Still came up wrong for me, but we'll go on to the next one where we actually use the cookie file. So now using -b cookies.txt. Let's see what that does. Saying please log in first by posting to this page. So automating login and performing brute force using cURL. Now that we can post requests and manage sessions, time to automate things. Let's simulate a brute force attack against a weak login form. So start by creating a file called passwords.txt. So what we'll do is use nano to passwords.txt. Go here, we'll copy this, paste it into the virtual attack box keyboard, Then we can just do Ctrl-Shift-V. And to save this, do Ctrl-X to exit, Y to save what we wrote, and then press enter to save it to passwords.txt. And now we're going to do same thing again by creating loop.sh. We'll copy the bash script, paste it into the text box clipboard, and paste it here. And Control X, Y, enter. So before we can actually run that bash script, we need to change files. So we have executable rights. So chmod +x loop.sh. And now we will be able to run bash script file. And we can see here it tried all the different passwords, and the correct one was secret pass. So here's how this worked. It reads all the passwords in the passwords.txt file, uses curl-s to send the login request silently, so there's no progress meter or any of that that's printed out. Response is stored in the variable, and then grep is used to read the string and verify whether it contains welcome within it. So when found, it prints the working password and exits the loop. So when secret pass was sent, response given back had welcome within it, and that's how it worked. This exact method underpins tools like Hydra, Burp Intruder, and wfuzz. By doing it manually, understand what's happening under the hood. A repetitive HTTP post with variable data, waiting for a different response, bypassing user agent checks. Some applications block curl by checking the user agent header. For example, the server may reject requests with user agent curl/7.xi. If you specify a custom user agent, we can use the -a flag. So we could run this command on the user agent check.php, we paste that in, welcome internal computer. But if we ran the same command without the user agent being changed, curl-i then just UA check, say blocked, only internal computer user agents are allowed. Okay, so there is a bonus mission for this challenge. This section is optional and applies only to the final bonus question. Instructions in this section do not apply to the regular questions. Feel free to skip it and proceed with the regular questions. So we are going to skip it and just go on to the main questions right here. So make a post request to the post.php endpoint with the username admin and the password admin. What is the flag you receive? So we will cycle through our previous curl commands, and there should be ones we did where we made post request and it had our username's user and password's password. If we just change this to admin and admin password, we have received the flag hm curl post success. Copy that and paste it here. Now make a request to the cookie.php endpoint with username admin and password. Save the cookie. Reuse that saved cookie at the same endpoint. So let's go to where we use cookies. So right here we've got -c cookies.txt. Username is already admin password, but we're on the session.php endpoint. So if we change this to cookie, or accidentally remove the slash, so login successful, cookie set. And if we do a cat on the cookies, you can see this session stuff here. So now we want to reuse this cookies and send it back to that cookie endpoint. So we did do another command before, this one right here, curl b cookies. So the previous command when we did this had session.php, so I'm going to change that to cookie.php, and we got the flag back, session cookie master. Submit that, and that is correct. So after the brute force on the brute force PHP endpoint, what is the password of the admin user? So that was before, right here, and the password we got back was secret pass. Okay, make a request to the agent.php endpoint with the user agent tbfc. What is the flag you receive? So once again, going through previous commands back to this one where we had curl-a internal computer. First changed the user agent and we changed it to tbfc, and then we changed the endpoint from the way check to just agent. And when we submit that, we have got our thm user agent filter bypass. So we copy and submit that. And since we aren't going to do the bonus question, we'll just click check on that. And now let's go to the conclusion section. Final battle commences. The wormhole closed. King Malheur no longer had access to his reinforcements. Skitty looked to her fellow Wereville town members. The king would only be vulnerable for a moment. Time to strike was now. Charge! Skitty exclaimed. Skitty and the townspeople of Wereville began unloading a barrage of snowballs on the king's bunny battalion. They quickly returned fire with the egg projectiles. The skyline became a blur of snowballs and eggs, and McSkitty used this moment of chaos to sneak into the king's throne room. Just as McSkitty was about to gain entry, a voice stopped her. Not so fast, giggled Sir Carabane. He slowly approached McSkitty, who suddenly felt underprepared. Just when she thought she was out of luck, Sir Breechblocker III stepped in front of her. Go, he simply said. "Well, what are you doing?" Sir Cairbrain stuttered. "What I should have done a long time ago." "What's right?" Sir Breechblocker the Third slammed his shield into the snow and drew his sword. "Go," he shouted, turning to McSkitty. "The end of the road." McSkitty seized the moment and ran into the king's throne room, where she found King Malhair throwing a tantrum. "Where are my reinforcements?" "They're not coming, Malhair," McSkitty affirmed. "It's over. Burville is ours. Let's see how you like being captive now." As she shouted, 2 Wereville town members sprang a cage on the king. It was over. Thanks in large part to your efforts, McSkitty has been freed. King Malhair had finally been stopped. Wereville was safe once again. The king was dethroned, sent to Hopsec prison along with his co-conspirators. Sir Breechblocker III was pardoned for his part in stopping the king's tyrannical plan, and later became King Breechblocker. Congratulations on finishing Advent of Cyber and saving the day. All of us at TryHackMe, have a Merry Stockmas and a Happy New Year. So we have now completed Advent of Cyber 2025. If you liked watching me go through the Advent of Cyber 2025 challenges, make sure to like and subscribe.